There you go. And welcome. Oh, there's a cat. But you can't see him. But he's with us. Right, Trey? Okay, so we're starting to stand. And we're just gonna have our feet a little bit wider than hips and get nice and loose and just let your arms swing side to side. Start to let go of the day, let go of the week. And start to bring your awareness to your body. How do you feel right now in this moment? I'm noticing a little bit of twinge in my shoulder I've been having issues with. And without judgment, just notice and observe how you feel right now. Good. And as we start to bring ourselves more to a stillness, you can come to the top of your mat if you have a mat or just a good space or whichever room you're in. And we're just going to start to link our breath with some movement. So as we inhale, let's reach our arms up to the sky. Big inhale. And then exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale and halfway lift, finding length in your spine. And exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees if you need to. Root your feet and inhale, rise all the way up to Father Sky. Exhale, hands down to your center, to your heart, and then down to your sides. I'm just going to do that 2 more times. Big inhale, reach up, looking up towards your thumbs, and exhale, hinge from your hips. Hands to shins and inhale, find length in your back. And then exhale, fold a little deeper, bending those knees. Root your feet and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down to your heart center and to your sides. One more time, just like that. So you can really move with your breath as you inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold a little deeper. Root your feet and inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring those hands down through your heart and to your sides. And then bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers and open up through your chest. And you can stay right here, or if you feel good folding forward, you can come on down. Try to bring the palms of your hands together if you can. And if your shoulders are like, that's okay. Take one more big inhale. And then a clearing breath out your mouth. And when you're ready to come up, feel as though someone's pulling at your wrist and lifting yourself up. Relax those hands, shake it out. And then we're going to bring our hands together and lift up in front, looking up towards the sky. Oh, I don't think my screen is bad. There we go. Bad angle. But the hands are reaching up. Good. And then, I'll sink down so you can see. You're going to grab your right wrist and lift up and over to the side. Like you're a crescent moon. Really push out your right hip. And then see if you can spiral your heart up towards the sky a little bit more. Instead of collapsing, think like you're lifting up and over. And inhale, bring yourself up, switch hands, grabbing your left wrist, and exhale over to the right and push your left hip out to the side. And see if you can spiral your heart upwards towards the sky. Really breathing into those left side muscles and ribs. Again, thinking about lifting up and over rather than collapsing into your torso. Good. Big inhale, lift up. Let those hands come down and just let your head rock and roll from side to side. Relax out your neck. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a lot of tension in my shoulders and my neck in the last little while. Let's give that some love. And really think about keeping your shoulders down today. Really finding length in your neck in every single shape we come into. Good, and give yourself a little shoulder roll. And I'm of the mind that this is medicine for you, right? There's no right or wrong. Whatever feels good is good. Whatever doesn't feel good is not good for you. So really be your own advocate and really listen to that wise guide inside. As my mentor Ian always says, you know best for your body. Okay. We're going to take our feet a little bit wider right now and do a little bit of like a Tai Chi stance. So nice, relaxed knees. Shouldn't feel too much in the legs. Okay, this isn't a strengthening move. And all we're going to do is move with our breath. So as you inhale, your arms are going to come back really broadly through your chest. And then exhale, thumbs down and round your back. Good. Inhale, thumbs up, open up through the chest. And exhale, thumbs down, round through your back. Inhale. So it's kind of like doing a standing cat-cow. And exhale. Finding mobility in your spine. Inhale. Make it feel really good. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Last one. Exhale. And then inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, sink down into your knees, bring your hands to your thighs. And we're just going to push one shoulder forward at a time and twist. And the other. So you're kind of like pushing your knees back and opening up to your hips a little bit. Finding some length in your torso. Let's do one more each side. Good, and slowly bring yourself up. Heel toe those feet together. And simply lift up onto your toes. The first balance of the day. Oh, and I'm already down. See if you can balance on those toes. It really helps if you find a focal point or a drishti, so a spot that's not moving on the floor or the wall in front of you. Good. Inhale those arms up. And then exhale, slowly sink your feet down. Good. And I'm just going to come to the top of my mat again. And do a little bit of that flow. So inhale, lift up. A little bit of an arch, it feels good. And exhale, fold forward to Mother Earth. And just hang out here. So we can grab opposite elbows. Bend your knees a lot if it feels okay. And just let your torso rest over your thighs. Nod your head yes, and shake it no. And just let gravity pull your head down, stretching out your back. Gravity can just give yourself a little bit of traction here. Maybe a little rock side to side if that feels good. And then simply bring your hands down to the floor and bring your big toes together to touch. And we're just going to bend one knee at a time, straightening the other, and switch. Starting to find a little bit more of a stretch in those hamstrings. Finding a little bit more space to move in our lower body. And then the next time your right leg is straight and your left is bent, hang out there. And we're just going to plant our left hand down by our feet. Bring your right hand to your low back. And inhale, start to twist and look up towards the sky. Maybe your right hand reaches up towards the sky too. That's okay for your shoulder and your neck. Take one more big inhale, reach a little higher. exhale, we're gonna switch hands. So replace your left with your right hand and bend into your right knee, straighten your left. Left hand comes to your low back. And then inhale, twist and look up towards the sky. If your hand was straight on the other side, maybe reach that left hand up towards the sky this time. Noticing if your breath has become a little choppy and try to bring it back to nice and smooth, even breaths. One more big inhale. And exhale, bring that left hand down. We're going to plant both our hands and step back into a downward facing dog. So spreading those fingers wide. Feet are hip width apart. And your tailbone is reaching up towards the sky. Now remember what I said in the beginning, that you want to keep your shoulders down away from your ears, keeping that nice long neck. And think about energetically squeezing your arms together. I'm just going to walk our dog out for a little bit, bending one knee at a time, pushing the other heel down. Maybe coming up onto your toes if that feels good. Start to stretch those feet out. Good, and when we are ready, we're going to take a big inhale and ripple yourself forward, bringing your shoulders over your wrists into a high plank. Woo! Starting to engage that core. Exhale, ripple back into your down dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, bring yourself back. Okay, last one. Inhale, ripple forward. And exhale, stay here. Maybe your knees come to the ground. Oh, hi, Jai. Take another big inhale. I'm just about to lower down. And then exhale, lower down. Hopefully not squishing any furry ones all the way down to your belly. Right. And we're going to do 3 baby cobras. All right, so tops of feet are planted firmly on the floor. Roll your shoulders back and squeeze those shoulder blades together. If you're trying to crack a walnut between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift yourself forward and up using your strong back. Exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. And this can be a really small movement. Doesn't have to be huge. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. We're going to inhale, push yourself up and back into a child's pose. I like to bring my knees wide, toes together. And you sink your hips down over your feet. Arms come forward, and forehead comes to the floor. Let's take a big inhale and a clearing breath out your mouth, sigh it out. And if you need to do another 1 or 2 or 3 of those, go for it. But start to just sink down, melt into the floor. And if at any time you need to take a break or chill out, this is a great place to come to. And when we're ready, let's walk our hands forward and then up and over to the left corner of your mat, maybe off your mat. And then start to pull your right hip back. Breathing into your right ribs and side body. Good, and slowly walk your hands back through center and over to the right. And pull your left hip back. Breathing into your left side body, relax. And walking those hands forward again. Let's bring them underneath our shoulders and come up into a tabletop. All right, so we're gonna do some cat-cow here. So take a big inhale, prepare, and then exhale, round your spine and puff up from your thoracic spine. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and your tail. Good. Exhale, round. And inhale, drop. And keep moving with your breath. Make it feel really good in your body. Maybe you can close your eyes. And maybe your body's calling for a slightly different motion. Maybe it wants to go side to side. So you can play around with different movements. Or maybe you can go in circles or figure eights. Whatever your body's craving right now. Let's take 2 more cycles of breath. And on your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine. And we're going to engage our core. So by that, I mean, you don't want your belly drooping. You want a nice neutral back. And then lift your right leg up on your next inhale. And notice that you are still straight. So if I put a water bottle on your back, would it roll off to one side or the other, or would it stay balanced on your back? Okay. Float your opposite arm up, your left arm. Excellent. And inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, let's bring our elbow and our knee to touch, squeeze. And inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach nice and long. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, reach. And exhale, lower back into your tabletop. We'll come right into the other side. Inhale, left leg rises. And keep those hips square. So maybe drop your left hip slightly, as we have a tendency to lift it up. And then float your right arm forward. Relax your shoulders and bring the back of your neck up towards the sky. Take a big inhale and a reach in opposite directions. Exhale, elbow and knee come to touch underneath. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach nice and long. Exhale, squeeze. Last one. Big inhale. And exhale, lower. Good. And I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see me a bit better, but you can stay where you are. So we get a little deeper into our shoulders. So at our table, we're going to inhale, left arm up towards the sky. Twist and look up towards your fingers. Then when we exhale, we're going to thread our hand between our arm and our knee and bring the back of our arm and our shoulder onto the floor and that left side of your head onto the ground. Finding that stretch coming into your shoulder. And some of you may not feel a stretch in your shoulder, and that's okay. You can turn this into more of a twist if that's the case, by pushing your right hand into the floor and starting to twist towards the right. Going to take one more breath here. And exhale. And then when you're ready, we're going to push into the ground with that right hand. Inhale, slowly rise that left hand up to the sky. And on our exhale, bring your left hand to the left this time, palm facing down, shoulder down, and still that left side of your head onto the ground. So coming into a chest stretch here, and you might even feel a nice stretch into your bicep. Again, you can use this right hand to push into the ground, and then you'll get a little bit more of a stretch into your bicep and your chest on that left side. Try to relax your neck, relax your jaw. Nice deep breaths. Good, and when you're ready, start to bring yourself back up. The left hand comes under your shoulder, and we're coming to our right side. So our right arm inhales up towards the sky. Exhale, thread it through, bring the back of your hand, your arm, and the right side of your head onto the ground. Find a nice shoulder stretch. And we're using that left hand this time to push into the ground and twist up towards the left. What can you relax here? Good. On your next inhale, lifting yourself back up, reach up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring your right hand to the right, palm down, shoulder down, and right side of your head to the ground. Breathing into your bicep and your chest. Maybe using your left hand to push in to get a little bit more of a twist and a stretch. And on your next inhale, slowly bring yourself up. I'll just turn this way again. And your hands are going to come forward slightly. Spread those fingers, tuck your toes, and lift up and back into your downward facing dog. As you inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, reach your tailbone a little higher. Inhale, say hi to Chai. And exhale, reach your heels towards the floor. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. One more big inhale here. And exhale, what can you relax? On your next inhale, right leg rises high to the sky. And exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Lift your hips nice and high and step your foot between your hands. We're going to spiral our back foot to the ground in warrior two stance. And then windmill your arms up into warrior two. Adjust your feet as needed. So your front heel should intersect your back foot. And you're bending into your front knee. And make sure you can still see your big toe. So you want your knee to be reaching outwards. Relax your shoulders. There you go. See if you can sink down a little deeper. And make sure that back edge of your back foot is pressed firmly into the floor. Let's inhale, reverse our warrior, reaching up and down. Finding length through both sides of your torso. And bend that top elbow, coming into a tricep stretch. Good. Inhale, lengthen through that front knee, release your mind, and then reach your arm forward, and then come down, bring your hand to your shin for a triangle pose. So this is a good place to be. Really important, you really want to hinge from this hip here, so you have a nice long spine. If you have more space, you might be able to bring your hand down to your ankle or the floor. Try to spiral your heart up towards the sky, maybe even looking up as well, if that's okay in your neck. Good. Inhale, lift yourself up. And we're going to square our feet, coming into a pyramid with our feet. So it's a little bit shorter, and your back heel's on the floor. Let's bring our hands towards our hips. And then exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. And stop wherever you start feeling that tension in your hamstrings. So you can stay here, or maybe your hands find the floor, or if you have a prop, it's a good time to use that as well. Think about pulling your right hip back to feel more of a stretch coming into that front leg. With every inhale, find a little bit more length to the crown of your head, and exhale a little bit more space into the shape. Good. A slight bend to that front knee. Inhale, lift up halfway. Let's have airplane wings. Then exhale, bring your left hand down towards your foot, and your right hand comes to your lower back, just like we did in the beginning. And this is a reverse triangle. So now we're twisting towards that front leg, getting into your IT bands here. So again, great time to have a prop here. That feels better for your hand. Could even be a can of soup or something you have nearby. And again, make sure you're really pulling this right hip back. Maybe your top arm extends towards the sky. Breathe into your right hip. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, lower down, flap those hands, and step back into your downward facing dog. Whew. Let's do a little flow to work that out. As you inhale, ripple forward into your high plank. Exhale, lowering down, bring your knees down, chest down. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lifting up into a cobra, maybe lifting up a little higher this time. Bring yourself forward first, then up. Relaxing the shoulders down. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, release. And we'll push back into our child's pose for 3 breaths, or down dog if you're feeling more fiery right now. Good, when you're ready, let's meet in our down dog. Spread those fingers wide, pushing your thumbs firmly into the mat. And let's inhale, left leg high towards the sky, keeping your hips square, toes pointing down to the ground. And exhale, bring your knee towards your nose, lift your hips nice and high, and step your foot between your hands, even help it along if it needs it. Rotate your back heel down, and wiggle those arms up into your warrior 2. Adjust your feet as needed, so that that front heel is intersecting your back foot, pressing your back foot firmly down. Bend into that front knee a little deeper. Maybe one nail would be totally parallel to the ground. And then make sure you can see your big toe by pushing your knee outwards. Good. Relax those shoulders. Your gaze is over your fingertips. What can you relax? Feeling steady in our foundation. Let's flip our front palm up and inhale, reverse our warrior. Keeping length through both sides of your torso. Let's bend our elbow and pull your elbow back for a tricep stretch. Using your breath to let go of any tension that you feel in your body, wherever that may be. Good. And as you inhale, lengthen through that front leg. Release your bind. Reach your arm forward and tip on over into your triangle pose. So your hand comes to your shin or your ankle on the floor. And see if you can rotate your heart up towards the sky. So in triangle, you kind of want to feel like you're pressed between 2 panes of glass and really scoop this left hip underneath. And using a nice strong core, bend into that front knee slightly and inhale, lift yourself up. And we're going to come in a pyramid with our feet. So bring your feet a little closer and you're kind of on railway tracks here. Okay. And your back toes are face forward or maybe slightly out on an angle. Okay. Bring your hands to your hips. Let's inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, start to hinge from your hips and come forward into your pyramid until you feel that stretch in your hamstrings. All right. Maybe your hands come to a block or the floor. And this time we're going to pull our left hip back slightly, really getting into those hamstrings. As you inhale, find length through the crown of your head. And exhale, maybe a little bit more space in the shape as you come a little bit further down. Feel all your toes pressed into the floor. Good, and have a slight bend of that front knee, so never lock any joints. We're going to inhale, lift up halfway, airplane wings, and then exhale, Right hand comes to the inside of your left foot. Bring your left hand to your low back. So this is our reverse triangle. Maybe your hand comes to a prop. And then start to twist towards the left. Maybe your left hand reaches up towards the sky. And we're really breathing into our left hip here, our left IT band. Nice deep breaths. Take one more big inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower your hands down towards the ground. Plant your hands and step back into your downward facing dog. Another flow as we inhale, ripple forward. High plank. Exhale, slowly lower down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra. Nice stretch to the front of your body. And exhale, lower down. Push back into your child's pose for 3 breaths. Option this time, you can bring your knees together to touch, and that helps to relax your low back a bit more. You can also bring your elbows forward, palms together, and then let your hands come to the back of your neck. And when you're ready, we're going to come down, back into our down dog. This is a good transition pose here. Inhale, look towards your fingers, come up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, and then step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then root your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Look towards your thumbs. Exhale, let your hands come down to heart center and to your sides. And just come here to mountain pose. Maybe close your eyes and just feel what it feels to be in your beautiful body right now. How lucky we are. Maybe notice your heart beating in your chest. Or how the air feels on your skin. And we're going to do a balance today. We're going to do eagle pose today. So this one's very fun. Let's spread our toes nice and wide. Shift your weight to your left foot. And then float your right knee up towards the sky. We're going to cross our right leg over and start to sink down. So you really want to squeeze your thighs together like you've got a $100 bill between them and you don't want anyone to take it. And your foot, my body doesn't do this, but some people can wrap their foot around the back of their leg. Start to sink down a little deeper. We're going to take our right arm underneath our left, cross your elbows. Maybe your hands come to your shoulders, or maybe they keep twisting palms towards each other into eagle arms. From here, elbows come out, fingers reach up, and then sink down a little deeper into your eagle nest. Nice. Nice soft gaze. Take one more big inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, blossom up, reach out, and then shake it out. Whew. If you feel a little lightheaded or anything, just take a moment to let that go. And without any expectations, we're going to come right into the other side. So bring your weight into your right foot. Float your left knee up to the sky and cross it over side to side. So you can wrap that foot around the back of the other leg and start to sink down into your hips. This time the left arm comes under right, hands to shoulders for a nice shoulder stretch, or keep twisting your palms towards each other. Elbows reach out and fingers up, and then sink down a little deeper. Nice deep breaths. Sure as day turns into night and night turns into day, nothing lasts forever. You can do it. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And then inhale, blossom yourself up. And shake out. Whew. Feeling well so far. We're going to step back with our right leg and come up onto your back toes to a high lunge. So as you bend into your front knee, make sure your pelvis is tilted forward. And we're going to inhale our arms up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly lower your right hand to the ground. And left arm up towards the sky. Nice gentle twist. Take one more big inhale, reach a little higher. And exhale, lower your back knee to the ground. And walk this front foot as wide as your mat. Oh, hey, bud. You love that. He loves the full blocks. And we're going to come into our lizard pose here. So both hands on the inside of that front foot. I know you got it. And maybe start to walk your hands forward. Maybe your elbows find the floor or your prop. Start to breathe into your hip. Sink those hips down. Got a little helper on my leg, making sure I stay relaxed for me. We hold a lot of emotion, a lot of stories in our hips. Give yourself permission just to breathe them out right now. And slowly walking your hands back underneath your shoulders. This time we're going to walk our front foot across to the other side of our mat and bring yourself down into a pigeon. All right, so if you are quite tight in the hips like I am, what I like to do is actually tuck my foot in. So there's no pain in my knee and I can get my left hip on the floor. You can also put a prop underneath that left hip to keep it supported. Wherever you are, you're going to stretch your back leg out nice and long and see if you can rotate your quadriceps, so the top of your thigh down towards the ground. If you're a little bit more open in the hips, you can flex your foot and bring your shin in line with the top of your mat and do the same thing. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. And then exhale, start to walk those hands forward, maybe finding your forehead to the floor. Or I like to make two fists with my hands, stack them on top of each other, and use that as a pillow on the ground. Or use a cat. Hey, Chad, what do you want? My pillow. We're going to spend about another minute here. Really breathing into those hips. Mm-hmm. You say hi. What can you let go of here? Let whatever bubble up, bubble up. Yeah, wonderful. And really start to walk your hands back up. For me, sometimes I'll spend the rest of the class in the shape. We're going to tuck our back toes and bring ourselves back into our downward facing dog. Maybe shake out that hip if you need to. And then inhale, lift up on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. And then step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's take a moment here, maybe grabbing to the backs of your legs, and really enjoy this forward fold. Bending your knees and slowly rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Rolling your shoulders back and we get to the top. This time I'm going to step back with our left foot, coming into a high lunge. Bending into your front knee, tilt your pelvis underneath. Feel that stretch from your hip flexor. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Right arm up towards the sky. Making your back feel nice and long. One more big inhale, reach up. Then exhale, lowering that back knee to the ground. Bring both hands to the inside of your front foot, and let this front foot walk out to the edge of your mat, coming into our lizard pose. So you start to walk your hands forward. Maybe your elbows find the floor or a prop. And notice if this side feels different than the other side. None of us are symmetrical. Each side's going to feel slightly different, and honor that. Nice deep breaths, breathing into any tension you feel and letting it go. Really melting down as best you can into the floor. And we slowly start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. And we're going to walk this front foot across to the other side of your mat and come into your version of pigeon pose. So that could either be with your foot flexed and the shin parallel at the top of your mat, or point your toes and tuck your foot in a little bit more. Making sure you don't feel any sharp pains or discomfort in your knee. And reach your back leg nice and long and rotate the top of your thigh towards the ground. And if it feels good, you can even tuck a pillow or a prop underneath the hip. And as you inhale, find a lot of length in your spine. And then exhale, walk those hands forward, maybe making that fist pillow or using a real pillow or a prop underneath your forehead. We're going to have about a minute here. Just really sink and relax into this shape. Relax your jaw. And see if you can lengthen those inhales. And exhale. If you want to stay here longer, please feel free to do so. Start to walk those hands back underneath your shoulders. And this time we're just going to come over onto the side of your body and bring your other leg forward. So have your hands behind you and just let your knees windshield wiper side to side. Relax those hips. And we'll start to roll down onto our back. And give your knees a big hug in, and maybe a little rock side to side, massage your lower back. We're going to do one bridge tonight. So for our bridge, we're going to bring our feet close to our hips so you can kind of touch your heels with your fingertips. And bring your knees hip width apart, but energetically squeezing together. So if you have a pillow or a blocky, you can put that between your knees. And that's a good way to make sure you're engaging the center line muscles. Okay. We're going to robot our elbows, push into your feet, and slowly start to peel your hips off the ground, lifting your hips as high as you can, keeping your shoulders, your neck, and the back of your head firmly planted in the ground. Maybe you bring your hands underneath of you, interlace those fingers, and maybe walk your shoulders underneath a little bit more to help puff up your heart towards the sky. So you can bring your hips a little higher. And if you're feeling fiery, maybe you lift one leg up towards the sky, keep those hips high. Slowly bring it down. Maybe you lift the other leg up towards the sky. Slowly bring it down. Bring your hips up a little bit higher. And then release your bind and slowly let your back melt down into the ground, one vertebrae at a time. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Knees come together. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And simply breathe into your hands. Feel them rise and fall with each breath. Come to a place of gratitude for all that we have. A place of truth, your true self, your highest self. And releasing those hands, start to walk your feet together to touch and let your knees come wide into a supine butterfly. I like to have both my hands on my low belly here. And depending on your hips, it might feel good to put pillows underneath your knees and prop them up a little bit. Make it a little bit more of a restorative pose. or simply just let gravity pull them down as we balance out our pelvis. What can you let go of? And maybe with a little help from your hands, start to lift those knees back up and bring your knees into your chest for another squeeze. I'm just going to finish with a twist. So hands come out to the side in a T shape. And just let your knees fall to one side, keeping both shoulder blades flat on the ground. And then look towards the opposite side. Bringing your head back to center. Slowly bring those knees back up and over to the other side. Stacking your knees. That feels good. And then relaxing both shoulders on the floor again and looking in the opposite direction. Nice gentle twist from the base of your spine up through your neck. Sinking down into the floor. And slowly bring your head back through center, bring your knees back up, and finding ourselves in our final shape, our Shavasana, stretching those legs out long, take up space, closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and start to feel really heavy and supported by Mother Earth beneath you. Relax the space behind your eyes. Relax your jaw. Let those shoulders melt down. Your lower back melt down into the floor. Let your hands be heavy. Let go of the need to hold on to where your legs are in space and just let your toes turn outwards. Nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Just here in the present moment with your breath. Return to your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Or you can decide to stay here for as long as you need. Maybe reach your arms overhead for a big full body stretch. And gently hug your knees into your chest for a final squeeze before rolling onto your left or your right side for a moment. And take your time before sitting up. And it's sometimes nice to sit on a pillow or a block. Lift those hips up higher than your knees. So you can just really relax. And bring your hands to your beautiful heart. And take a moment to think of one thing you are truly grateful for in this moment. And mine is for Chai sharing his time with us tonight too, and for all of you joining me. I hope you had a wonderful practice and that whatever you cultivated will carry with you the rest of your day, your night, your week. And hopefully I'll see you again.